Good morning, students. We have completed our lesson electricity. Then quickly I'll revise that lesson, the total complete lesson, whatever we have studied in this lesson. And we have completed all the question answers, NCERT question answers, exercise question answers, each and every that concept already we have studied, each and every numerical also we have solved. So now today just I am going to revise the complete lesson, the each and every term. You should be very serious that on this topic that which I am going to take today. Now students, the first topic, the name of the lesson, electricity. So I'll write down all the terms which I am going to discuss today. First is electricity. I will write down only the name of the term and further that I'll explain. So I have written here electricity. The second term I'll be explaining positive and negative charge. And before that, I will discuss about charge. And third, I'll discuss about that Coulomb. Now, fourth, I'll discuss the static and current electricity. And fifth, I'll discuss conductors and insulators. It will be in parts. First, I'll discuss all these 5 terms quickly. Now, student, it is electricity. Electricity is an energy. Electricity is an energy which is used to run electrical appliances. Electricity, this is an energy which is used to run electrical appliances. Electrical appliances may be fan, computers, refrigerator, micro oven, and air conditioners and all. These all are known as the electrical appliances. The energy which is required to run the electrical appliances, that is called the electricity. First, it is clear. Now, student, before that, I should go for second term, that is the positive and the negative charges. First, I'll let you know the charge. Now, student, charge. Whenever 2 objects are rubbed with each other, if I got 2 objects, if I am rubbing with each other, when 2 objects are rubbed with each other, they acquire charge. They acquire charge. For example, now dry hairs and comb. Comb is rubbed with the dry hair at that time, or the plastic scale is rubbed with the dry hair. That time they will acquire charge. That time they will acquire charge, and in this, the charge will be produced in the plastic scale or in the comb. The charge is produced in the plastic scale or the comb. So whenever we are rubbing any 2 objects, that time charge is produced. Now there are 2 types of charges. Now positive charge and negative charge. How it is produced? Positive charge is produced when glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth. That time positive charge is produced. When ebonite rod is rubbed with the wool or the fur, that time negative charge is produced. Now it is clear, students. Now third, it is a Coulomb. Coulomb is the SI unit of electric charge. Coulomb is the SI unit of electric charge. And students, now you are knowing that it is a 1 electron is equal to 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 Coulomb. Coulomb is the SI unit of charge. SI unit of charge. It is clear. Now the fourth term, it is the static or the current electricity. The electricity in which the charge is at rest or the charge is stationary, that is called the static electricity. In the electricity in which the charge is in the motion, that is called current electricity. Very much, you should be very much clear. It is a very important terms, static and current electricity. So in static electricity, when the charge is at rest or charge is at stationary, it's when charge is in the rest, it is called static. When charge is in the motion, it is called current electricity. Now, fourth term is clear, student. Now, fifth, conductors and insulators. Conductors are those substances, those material which allow the electric current to flow. They are called conductors. For example, copper, aluminum, silver, etc. These all are the good conductors of electricity. Conductors. Insulators, the insulators, they are those material which do not allow the electric current to flow through them. That is called the insulator. Now, student, there is a very, very important question for competitive exams. Now, conductors, they are having low resistance. Very, very important point. That's the conductors, they are having very low resistance. Means they are opposing the current very less. It means they are allowing the current to pass through that material. So that's why they are called conductors. Metals are generally, they are conductors. And students, insulator, for example, rubber, plastics, wood, glass, etc. are the examples of insulator. So students, we have discussed the 5 terms. Now quickly, I'll write down another 5 terms. So we'll revise those 5 terms also. Very, very each and every term is very, very important, students. Now it is as good as your revisions, as good as it is recap. Then if you want to go through the complete lessons, so that is also, so it is also in this, all the terms are being used in this lesson. Now student, I'll write down another 5 terms and I'll explain all the terms. Now students, next term which comes in this lesson is after conductors. Now next term is used as a insulator. Conductors already we have discussed. Now next is the electric current. Electric current, very, very important term, student. The electric current is the rate of flow of electric charges. Means I is equal to Q by T, where Q is a charge and it is time. Student, then if the charge is 1 coulomb and time is a 1 second, then I can say the current is a 1 ampere, and ampere is the SI unit of current. Ampere is the SI unit of. And one more thing, students, the current, it is measured with the help of ammeter, and ammeter, it is always connected in the series of a circuit. Already earlier I have explained to you, but now again I am just explaining it. The current is measured with the help of an ammeter, and ammeter, it is always connected in the series of a circuit. Now question, very, very important, why the ammeter is connected in the series of electric circuit? Reason, due to its low resistance. So in one questions, we have completed 3 or 4 questions. Clear, students? And ammeter are always connected in the series, and ampere is the SI unit of electric current. Is it clear, students? Now again, very, very important terms which we are going to discuss is after this. Now it is a electric circuit. Electric circuit, it is a closed path. It is a closed path through which electric current can pass through. That is called electric circuit. So there are some of the components: wire, bulb, switch, battery or cell. So these all are the components. Bulb, these all are the components which are required for making the circuit. Wire is required, which allow the electric current to pass through, because it will become as a circuit, and circuit we can say which allow the electric current to pass. That's called a circuit. To make the plug or key, I'll write down plug, key or switch. All these 3, let it be plug, let it be key, or let it be switch. The function of plug, key or the switch to make the circuit close or open is the function of this switch. When the switch is at on position, when switch is on, that time it will allow the current to pass through and the circuit will be closed. When the switch is off position, that time the circuit is open, it will not allow the electric current to pass through, means the circuit is open. To make the circuit close or open, this is the function of the switch, that plug or key. Very, very important term, students. Now, next term which we are going to discuss is conventional current and electronic current. Very, very important terms. Very, very important term. Now, there are two types of electric current. One is a conventional current. Another one is a electronic current. Please note down if you want to note down. Otherwise, I'll discuss these terms, the conventional current and electronic current. Electronic current and conventional current. I am going to discuss now what is conventional current and what is electronic current. So conventional current and electronic current. Both the terms are very, very important, students. Now, conventional current always flows from outside the circuit. Always remember, from positive terminal to the negative. Whenever we are making the electric circuit, quickly I'll make one electric circuit, students. Say this is an electric circuit, I have made it. Is it clear, student? Now, this is a positive terminal, this is negative terminal. Now, from the outside the circuit, the current which is flowing, this is called conventional current. And inside the circuit, the current which is flowing from the negative terminal to the positive terminal, this is called from negative to positive, and it is from inside the circuit and it is outside the circuit. This is called conventional current and this is called electronic current. A very, very important term, students. Please remember. So difference between conventional current and electronic current is the current which flows in a circuit from the positive terminal to the negative terminal and outside the circuit, that is called conventional current. And electronic current that flows from the negative terminal to the positive terminal inside the circuit, that is called electronic current. Very, very important term, students. The next term which we are going to discuss is electric field. Electric field and electrostatic potentials. Again, very, very important terms. Each and every term is very, very important, students, and itself. And the if these all the terms are clear to you, and if any questions comes, say they are framing, examiner is framing any questions, so you will be very easily, you will be able to give a reply of each and every question. If the question is related to this topic, means the chapter electricity, let it be question, any type of the questions. So if the concept is clear to you, students, all the formulas are clear to you, then there should not be any problem in solving the questions. Clear, students? So next term which we are going to discuss, that is called the electric potentials and the electrostatic potentials and potential difference. Yes, students, the next term is electrostatic potentials. Is the electrostatic potential. Before that, I should that discuss the electric potentials. I'll let you know there's a very, very important term, electric field. It is the space or the region around the charged body. It is the space or the region around a charged body within which its influence can be experienced. For example, you are having one charged body. If this is an area up to where you are just, there's an influence of the charged body, it can be experienced, or the region or the place or the space up to which the influence of the charged body can be experienced, that is called the electric field. Very, very important term, student, because this term we are going to use in the electric potential and all. Now, students, the next term, it is a potential difference between the potential difference, the term is there, or electrostatic potential. Electrostatic potential. Electrostatic potential and potential difference. The term seems to be similar, little bit difference is there. It is the electrostatic potential is the, it is both are in the electric field. This thing is clear. Electric field is a must. Amount of work done in bringing the unit positive charge from infinity to that point. This is called electric potential, and the SI unit of electric potential, it is a volt. But in this case, potential difference between the 2 points, say this is point A and this is point B. Amount of work done in bringing the positive charge from one point to another point, this is called potential difference. Only in this difference is there. In this, we are bringing the unit positive charge from infinity. This is another point. So difference in the potential between 2 points, that is called the potential difference. Very, very important terms. Now, student, the formula which I have studied, which we have studied, the amount of work done in bringing the unit positive charge from one point to another point. So V is equal to amount of work done in bringing the unit positive charge, means V is equal to W by Q. If work done is a 1 joule and charge is a 1 coulomb, that time the potential difference will be 1 volt. Or the question comes, define 1 volt of potential difference. 1 volt of potential difference is that work done when in an electric field, when we are bringing the unit positive charge from one point to another point. And if the work done is 1 joule and charge is 1 unit, that time the potential difference is said to be 1 volt, and volt is the SI unit of potential difference, and potential difference is measured with the help of voltmeter, students, and voltmeter is always connected in the parallel of electric circuit. Why question arises? Again, that is a great question. Generally, question comes, one question is sure from either that ammeter or the voltmeter, why the ammeter is connected in series or the voltmeter is connected in the parallel. Explain. Maximum in all the competitive exam, NTSC, NDA, and all science Olympiad, even though you are in the board exam also, this type of the questions are being asked. Why the voltmeter is connected? Here I have said the voltmeter is connected in the parallel of the electric circuit, students, because the reason it is due to its high resistance. Voltmeter is connected in the parallel of electric circuit, and voltmeter is used to measure the potential difference. A very, very important concept. Is it clear, students? Now, which we are going to discuss, that is already we have discussed ammeter, voltmeter. I told you that I already explained to you. Then one more, that's meter, that is a galvanometer. Galvanometer is a device which is used to detect the electric current in an electric circuit. As good as it is, it plays a similar role as good as the electric, it's a tester is there. Electrician, they are having tester, only it is used whether the supply is there or not. Similarly, if there is a current is there in the electric circuit, you want to only check the presence of electric current in the circuit, not measure the. If you want to measure the electric current, then you have to use the ammeter. If you want to know the presence of electric current, whether the current is there or not. If the current is there, then you are required with a galvanometer. So galvanometer is a device which is used to detect the electric current. Is it clear, student? So I have explained to you ammeter, voltmeter, galvanometer, all the three meters. So you must know. So what is the role of the each and every meters? Let it be ammeter, let it be voltmeter, let it be galvanometer. Clear, students? Please note down if you want to note down. Otherwise, I'll go for next term. So each and every term is very, very important itself. Now, students, the next terms which we are going to discuss is now that is about the Ohm's law and the resistance and all. Is it clear, students? Now, before I should go for Ohm's law, I should tell you that resistance. Very, very important term, resistance. This word is a self-explanatory. Resistance means, students, to oppose, which opposes the flow of electric current, that is called resistance. That's called resistance. Now comes to Ohm's law. Ohm's law is in an electric circuit, the current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to its potential difference, or potential difference is directly proportional to current. Now, student, when temperature remaining constant, clear here. Now V is alpha divided by I. Clear, students? So if the potential difference and current, if V is a 1 volt and I is equal to 1 ampere, therefore the R will be 1 ohm. Means 1 volt divided by 1 ampere is equal to 1 ohm. Is it clear? Ohm is the SI unit of, this is ohm, and this is a symbolic sign representations of ohms. How to write the ohms? Ohm is the SI unit of electric resistance. Clear, students? So when I told you about this current and all, students, I'll give you the two terms of current. The current already we have discussed. The ampere is the SI unit of electric current. So the two terms which I am going to discuss with you, one is the milliamp and one is the microamp. Now, student, milliamperes current, the socket, it is written as a milliamperes current is required. Milli means 10 raised to power minus 3. Clear, student? Now, micro ampere means 10 raised to power minus 6 ampere. Very, very important term. Please remember, 1 milliamp is equal to 10 raised to power minus 3 amperes. 1 microampere, it is equal to 10 raised to power minus 6 ampere. Very, very important terms. So already I told you, students, each and every term will discuss. Not even a single term will leave, so you will not be having, I think you will not be having any doubt if sir has not explained this term is left. So most probably, so I'm explaining all the terms. Clear, students? The next term which I'm going to discuss, Ohm's law, also I explained to you the resistance of the conductors. The factor on the resistance of conductor depends. The resistance of the conductor depends, you know, length, area of cross sections already, and temperature. Clear, students? And nature of the conductor, nature of the material, nature of the material, student. 4 factors on which the resistance of conductor depends, and already I explained to you the formula. R is equal to rho into L by A. Very, very important formula, where rho is a resistivity. I'll write down the formula. Please note down.